What do you think about this? Worst Army guy ever. Say hey, connectors. GK here. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and hope you're connected in your community in some way. Did you hear that? Did me a little rhyme. So I've been thinking about jazz recently, and really what I've been thinking about is this idea of jazz and community. Community is jazz, and kind of putting together some things here to really talk about how strong a community can be, or more importantly, how a community can grow and flourish. And the joy of community. It's like the joy of jazz. So in jazz, you have many styles and you have many instruments and you have many opportunities to sort of get creative and bring out your own personality into the music that you are going to create. I mean, if you have a quartet or a quintet or a duet or a solo, what you have, the instruments, the players, and their feelings, their feeling toward the music, is going to play a lot into what exactly is played, how it's played, and how it sounds. The feeling that you get. So how you as a musician, an individual player, come at the music, come at your jazz, is dependent on a lot of things. But it has to do with you, it has to do with your voice, your value. Now get those instrumentations together. Get those instruments together, those players together, those different voices, those different values, and play. There's a lot of negotiation that has to go on there. There's a lot of listening and reacting, seeing what is what, and how we're going to play together. And that's going to determine what the piece eventually turns out to be. Sounds like something else, doesn't it? Community works the same way. We all come at it with our different instrumentation, our different voices, and we put those together sometimes in collaboration, and we find ourselves playing some great music. So the big question is, how often are you tuning up? How often are you connecting with other musicians? And how often are you playing good jazz? Or how often is your community getting stronger because of these collaborations? I mean, think about it this way. If you were a jazz player, if you're a trumpet player, say, and all you did was play with other trumpet players, that jazz would kind of be, I don't know, boring. But if you knew around you, you had trumpet players and drummers and trombonists and saxophonists, and you had all these other things that you could put these different flavors and colors into your music, you'd want that. Musicians strive for that. We look for those kind of things. And we should be doing the same thing in our community. Finding those moments where we can say to other collaborators, other musicians, let's pick up and blow, man. Let's pick up and blow. Community shouldn't fear collaboration. We should embrace it. We should be looking for it all the time. The best musicians in the world are constantly looking for new places and spaces to play in. And as a community, we should be doing the same thing. So if you are a .com and you're always with other .comers and you don't know anything about your .edu world or your .gov world or your .org world, you're missing some flavor of your community. You're missing the ability to put more music out there with your own spin on things, and therefore your community is not as well served. So check out that community. Check out new places and spaces. Get yourself collaborating with other places and other groups and other organizations that you might not have anything with, and just see what there is. Half the time, the greatest thing that happens in music is the same thing that's the great thing about community. It's these happy accidents, these things that get together and all of a sudden find themselves with a new initiative or a new product or a new place, a new space. They're going to happen if you allow it, and community needs that. And like jazz, it comes with an amazing byproduct. New music, even the same sheet music played by different instrumentation, becomes its whole new thing. And that's what we're looking for in community. That way to connect that way, to build strength, to build a new community. So come on, fellow music lovers. Let's find a way to make our community even stronger. Find a way to connect ourselves by finding those other musicians, those other community-minded individuals and organizations, and say, hey, let's sit in with us. Check this out. Play something for us. Let's just riff on something. Let's get a few chords together and see what happens. Let's make our community dynamic. by putting more color and fabric and ideas out there for people to catch on to. And believe me, we'll find an audience. Believe me.
On a foreign path, then let me do the lead. Join in the essence of the cool I breed. The cool out to the music cause it makes you feel serene. With the birds and the bees and all those groovy things, like getting stomach aches when you gotta go to work, or staring into space when you feel.
Happy birthday, Miles.
Cause the job of resurrectors is to wake up the dead. So pay attention, it's not hard to decipher. And after the horns you can check out the fight.